Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dante De Giulio. For those of you who don't know me, I'm in charge of external production as well as programming and a number of other roles, which have very little to do with this audience. First of all, let me apologize because I should have opened this session today with Rosella. Thank you so much, Rosella, for organizing. I've only contributed for 5%, even less. So thank you, Rosella. This has been a good job. So myself and Stefania were actually tied up to meeting with the MD, talking through the current trend for the euro. So but I'm still here actually, and I'm able to now run an interview around a number of topics. Stefania, head of social for our Sky social media profile. She's been coordinating this very strategy for 8 years. She's really a pillar for us, and thanks to her team, now we're very much dominating the ranking of social media over the let's say, and this has been the case over the past 5 years. We'll be talking through content video strategy, how to take advantage of video to create engagement and monetize on social media. Now, the very first question that I'd like to start with, and I'm happy that Rosella was welcoming this interview, as I believe social media is really interesting. So my first question is, now, we often talk through highlights. Sky Sport Plus, tennis, we do deliver an incredible number of highlights. But is this really the most important content for a broadcaster, or is it just a part of the strategy? Well, thank you, Dante, and thank you, Rosella, and thank you, everyone, for the kind invite. As Dante said, we're going to look at the video strategies for our social media platforms, and addressing the question from Dante, I'd love to share with you the strategy for highlights, not just Sky Sports, but more generally, what is going on our global platforms, and how do users behave when they're seeking for these contents, and what use they make of it, basically. And also, highlights, and well, I believe that in Europe, perhaps we have, thanks to our rights, the highest number of highlights. We have to say that YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Meta Group, in a nutshell, but more specifically on YouTube, there's a high consumption of highlights. Highlights, no doubt, is the content that they look for, of course, those who have a passion for sports subjects. And how do they make a research, and how do they use it? If we take a look at YouTube, you see some insights. Well, first of all, they use their mobile to access these insights, and over 60% of users, they are actually seeking for this content from their smartphone. And then they use PC, tablet, and TV set. What's interesting is also here below, content discovery. So YouTube app actually is suggesting that content because the algorithm knows that you might be interested into that sports, into probably you're supporting a specific team. And so content discovery is very interesting, and search as well. YouTube is Google. So, of course, you see 33%. In some cases, even greater than this. Now, people are seeking either to Google or on YouTube the highlights of a football match. And now look at this graph here. This is showing the tail. So what's the life cycle of a highlight? Well, the life cycle of a highlight is very short. Right before the match is ending, or whatever event, tennis or Formula One. Well, these people, they keep searching, okay? And they do they do search for the highlights and they find it. What's interesting is that often they don't seek for the one in Rai, Sky Sport, and so on. They just say Google their favorite match or a car make and so on. So the moment they Google it, so the moment they search for it, then they choose the best content. So it's not that they're loyal to some specific brand, but they rather want to see highlights in terms of their favorite match and so on. Nighttime, well, let's say this is kind of reducing. There's a spike next day, and then the life cycle of the highlights is gone because it is very much associated to the live event, and the next day something else will happen. And this is really interesting because it shows you what decisions you can make from a strategic standpoint. The other aspect that I'd love to share with you is the following. Currently, we do have events in pay, and we do have some free events. And we've noticed that in terms of highlights, again, it is not so much associated to either you watch it on television but let's say that those free matches, football matches on TV8 or Rai Mediaset, well, they do even better with respect to pay TV. So highlight is not replacing what they watch on television. And now, the content of social media allows you to share, allows you to comment, allows you some interaction. And you may, experience that very event once again. And all of the above allows the user to have that experience, that beautiful experience once again, and perhaps to share it with other supporters and things like that. Let's carry on Meta. Now, I don't know whether any of you are like Facebook, Instagram. Well, Facebook, over the last few years, has decreased their audience. Well, of course, there are new platforms out there, TikTok, namely, starting from 2020. I have to say, starting from the pandemic, TikTok has literally skyrocketed in growth, as well as YouTube. And so there has been a shift. And Facebook has become a kind of a newsroom for an age bracket which is above 40 years of age. And in our news also we do report decrease. And more generally speaking, I have to say that the traffic on Facebook has decreased. And we're now kind of shifting people from Facebook, and we do referral to our website so that they may click on our website, and this is also decreasing. Facebook right now is kind of struggling, I have to say, and it is not revamping in any shape or form. Instagram, which is still a platform from Meta, younger age bracket, has definitely done something new. The Instagram stories, for instance, and they're very successful on that. And I have to say that the fan base, very young, still much broader with respect to the past. And Instagram, no doubt, is the platform for interaction. There's no such social platform which is delivering as much as engagement, especially on live events. And to the point that we actually have a very strong strategy on IG, on Instagram. So how do we deliver the content there? Well, first of all, the video piece on social media is crucial. All of the digital platform and social media are now transforming into video-centric platforms. So the video content is the one that is better performing, but of course there's a huge load of content. So think about how many videos we can actually extrapolate from a feed. But you want the user to stop there, to land and stop. For instance, we do deliver some big highlights and headlines. You have very few seconds, to allow your user to land and stop. It is important to have good headlines, graphics, and so on. We do work on Instagram on branded content. You can monetize on Instagram through special projects with some brands, and this is something that we're doing on Euro 2024. And then we do have Instagram stories, which still delivers some drawback. Let me tell you this. Now, Instagram stories are only visible to the fans of that very page. So the strategy here within the feed is that actually allows you to reach out to a broader audience. So if you only publish on Instagram stories, you will only reach out to your fan base and no one else. It is important for a social media strategy to succeed, to generate reach and engagement. You want to work in the feed, of course. Instagram stories are still very useful to deliver traffic because, of course, you may add your links to websites and so on. Let me go back to YouTube. Now, I have to say that YouTube is a platform that we have studied over the last 3-4 years. We were not attending so heavily, whereas now we're very much there, and we have been there with some highlights for Italian national team, and a very diversified strategy. And this is important as well. Social media have to be used all together at the same time in a different manner. So you want to take advantage of all the products that the platform will release. Instagram has Reels, Stories, Card, Live. YouTube is featuring video 69 horizontal ones. You can do live on YouTube. You can do shorts, the vertical video clips, which is a new format, just like Reels on TikTok, and this is important as well. Also, YouTube recently launched Community tab, which allows you to add a link, so to generate additional traffic. So Facebook, TikTok, Meta, within a single platform. Nobody is stronger than me, you know? And no doubt that this is very much interesting because it is embracing many different age brackets. I have to say that YouTube has no competitors on videos, of course. So what do we do on YouTube? To be relevant, you have to act timely, because in the event of broadcasters, if you have more broadcasters, media, which have the same rights as yourself, you have to be there, timely manner. You have to provide the best headline, of course, the right headline, which allows you a good and successful SEO. And this is called the SEO titles. So the moment you provide the relevant headlines and you have a good copy strategy when it comes to the SEO, this will help you out to reach our audience, and it will bring you up in the ranking of those big ones in Italy. And then the preview, the cover, namely. There's some examples here. So, of course, you capture the user through a title that the user knows what is watching. Image is important, but this is a strategy which works for everyone. And so you want to start with the right image and tell the user what the content is talking about. Another small trick on this, the format, 60 seconds maximum, and that is the threshold for YouTube. This is very much amplifying the audience because the algorithm allows the shorts to run super fast on the platform, and therefore they will reach out to more users and they will bring them over to your channel. So it is a vertical strategy that works very well on YouTube. YouTube is no doubt the social media platform that works best for video in sports. 2023 only, when we were uploading many different sports video, but also DAZN worked really well, Eurosport as well, and also the rights owners, and for instance the league League as well, Liga Pro. So they've run this beautiful strategy on YouTube, and this has allowed a growth by 72% in terms of views of videos. So versus 2022, it has grown a lot. It has grown by 62%, and this is Italy only. And I've been given this research from Google. So they were running surveys asking questions to users. Where is it that you will be seeking for Euro content on social media? And most of the answers were YouTube, Facebook second, and then, well, in terms of, well, according to the age bracket, then the answer might change, you know. But YouTube is still being considered the one platform where users are seeking for sports event the most. They're very good in managing these products, and they do also allow you the possibility to get this watch cards. Watch card is a graphic format that you see as you access YouTube. So you look for Croatia, Italy, and you're basically being supported on how to best search for the content you want. Let me just interrupt you for a second, because we have spoken about reels, highlights, cards. How and I understand this is what your team does. So how many people do you have in your team, and what is the quantity of content that you're able to kind of upload for something that has been already developed? Well, we're now broken down in football, a Formula One, cars and basketball. And we do work very early in the morning to follow NBA. We do start 7 a.m. and up until midnight 1. So it's 7 on 7 weekends for cars and so on. So we, of course, we do work on shift, as you can imagine. And we are now on YouTube with 4 different channels: Facebook, Instagram, X, 5 vertical channels, TikTok, and WhatsApp, and which I will recommend you to log into. And I can say that we're less than 15 people. Less than 15 people in charge of all of these activities, which I've spoken about. Is 2 shifts, of course. 2 shifts on a day, and this whole strategy that I've presented is being taken care by the people that work with me on content. Some highlights, of course, are there already, so there's some flows of content which are ready-made that we just merely distribute, but then we do add the vertical content, graphics, subtitles, well, what I would call the post-production. We're also very creative, and we deliver the best copy. And each platform, we personalize the language, and we do target different people, different age brackets. Also, we do have monetization goal as well, and we don't just do it per se. Of course, we do have social media goals, reach, engagement, video views, and but then of course we want to deliver business. So let's say that we want to further promote, engage users, younger people, because our audience is, I would say, mainly below 30 years of age. This is why I would say it is important to customize the way you speak. You know, you would not use the same language as a television would use. But again, this is part of the objectives, you know, to create, to trigger interaction and to engage a broader audience on a Sky event. That is very much the goal we have, and we are very good in doing it. Well, same same for monetization. We do have revenue goals on a number of social media. So we do have marketing goals, and we want to tell basically what Sky is. On Euro 2024, we're now doing a very good job, not just to cover footage, but also our commentators' job. So we try to also support all of the commentators' work and to share it with those users who are not on Sky, let's say on Sky Pay. And this is basically social media are our showcase. I don't know if you have TikTok. TikTok is becoming a much different platform from the one you would expect. TikTok has now opened up to a much greater audience. It has become a media by itself. It is an editorial media, and it is now working as good as and as much as YouTube. TikTok does twice as much as YouTube in terms of video. We do have an average of 50 million. We do have 100 million video views, TikTok only. We have a single channel there, and the audience, again, very young, mainly feminine, many girls. And this is interesting because many of our contents, which are being seen on other platforms, for instance, YouTube is very much for boys. It's interesting to see that our content is very much seen by girls.
This is so important. I mean, the video starts with the audio on because what they want is music. They want, I mean, the sound to be there at the very beginning. They're now working so much on dedicated apps. If you go to TikTok now, looking for Euro 2024, well, this is what you will find. It's a dedicated corner. You have videos of our own broadcasters, plus, I mean, Sky and Rai, together with UEFA and the federation's videos. So once again, this is what they're doing. They are signing partnerships with right holders. Well, this is my last slide before Q&A. Now, we are working, of course, on European Football Championships, and we now have Rai. Also, Rai is working very well on the social strategy, I have to say, but also digital philosophy. Do you know One Box? I mean, Google One Box is right here on the left. Basically, if you just, enter the Google page, you look for a match. So before the match, but also after the match, you will find this kind of space, this rectangle. You can find the match result or where the match is going to take place. And you will find here the highlights of the match. This is Google One Box. Now, probably this is the most important product from Google on the sports universe, exploited by rights owners, broadcasters in every single country. Now, again, first come, first win is the basic philosophy. So this is a desktop screen, okay, but the view is basically from mobile. So those that have come first, well, basically, you have the first highlight, and then the second one is not, viewed. So being there first, this is very important. We have a major embargo, but Rai is working very well on this. So there are plenty of, video, views on the site, or in two different ways. So either you go to the site or you go to YouTube, and in both cases you monetize, because there will be ADV breaks in the video, and YouTube, same strategy. So Google One Box is absolutely fundamental for the digital strategy of mass media or broadcasters or right owners. On the European Championships, more or less we have the same digital and social rights. So we're trying to have something a little bit more exclusive than Rai to try and diversify a little bit. Now we're using the so-called called Spalletti Come. Maybe you've seen the content. Very, very, well, it's real fun because you can see Spalletti, I mean, speaking to players, commenting, and that this is one of the best contents of the, well, Sky Sports European Championships. So this is why I brought the picture. Okay, then this is it. I just share with you an overview of what we're doing currently. Stefania, thank you so much. Very informative, exhaustive, and then you shared with us a different point of view in terms of using our content. You said it's not just viewing our contents on social networks, because this increases engagement, people know our products, potentially this turns into subscribers that people, got into now, because we do plenty of marketing. And once again, monetization, which is one of the most important things. And this is the reason why, this facility has been created. Stefano, you managed this in an excellent way, with a very high level of accountability and the desire to do things in the right way. So, Stefania, thank you so much again for this and for your point of view, which is something never seen before here. Okay, I think there are questions. Yes, we do have one. Hello, Stefania. My name is Carlo De Marchis. Well, thank you so much for this, deep dive on the real explanations and the real life at Sky with your team. It's impressive. I mean, a team of 15 people with all of these contents in all of those platforms. I mean, they have their own language, the size is different, it's very sophisticated. One of the things I saw when working with NBA and NFL in the US, they created programs. So external third-party creators, so that you have to be, that you have to choose and qualify. They are sort of embedded into the team, and in exchange, what they give them is the content. Are you considering this? It's last second question. Well, let me tell you that, of course, we take contents from Sky TV, but when we get the rights of a specific event, for example, we have the possibility to use the hubs from right owners. Greenfly, maybe you know it. Okay, yes, I know it very well. Now, from Greenfly, what happens is that right owners from the other side of the world, their video maker or their creators or their social media manager can create the highlight of the content. And this is made available to the official broadcasters of that event. With the Dorna, this is what we do. With Dorna, we also work so much with the Premier League and UEFA. So physically, we are, let's say, at home in our offices. There are some events where we go physically because they're very important. For example, Monza Grand Prix, Mugello, so Italian events, we have to be there. If this is not possible, for example, we are not physically at the European Championships, we try and get contents from those hubs. I don't know if I have answered your question, but yes, more or less we do it, and of course we are willing to do so. And I think that right owners now also want the opposite. Those who are on the spot will use the hub so that this is made available to other broadcasters. We started to do this. On ATP, for example, this was absolutely very useful on tennis. In terms of social networks, yes, we're using so many contents from those apps, even more than the TV and more than site. Vertical content, so it is not the simple footage. I mean, it's the warm-up, something extra, something more, something that you cannot find on the TV. So yes, we do it. Very interesting and really, really very useful. There's another question.
Ciao. Ciao Stefania, sono Stefano Tarantino.
Hello Stefania, my name is Stefano. I'd like to go back to Dante's question. In terms of the number of people working with you, and again, congratulations for what you do, because it shows, I mean, okay, so of course I know you watch it. The question is on AI. Now, to do all of what you do on so many channels, are you using AI? No,
avete
zero.
intenzione di farlo?
And
o-
are you considering this?
Ok,
No.
semplice.
No. Ti
Okay.
faccio anche un altro esempio.
Very
Guarda,
easy.
Campagna molto diretta, quindi...
Okay, she's
No,
really
no,
straightforward.
ti faccio un
No,
esempio,
no, no, no.
guarda,
I
per
have an
esempio
example for you.
c'era stato
YouTube,
proposto, qua ci sono anche dei
we
miei colleghi
had
che mi hanno provato a
been
propormelo,
offered
di fare degli automatismi,
to
cioè
do some
caricamenti
automatic
automatici su
systems. I mean,
YouTube.
automatic,
quella è
let's say,
un'automazione, quindi può essere anche esclusa
material
da
on
parte di intelligenza
YouTube,
artificiale.
but you can
No,
also
no, lo
exclude
so,
the AI part.
però
Yes, I know, but
prima di tutto sui social si
now,
nota e adesso tra l'altro
on
non so
social
se hai visto,
networks,
ma
you can
Meta ti
see
dice
this.
creato con l'intelligenza
Meta says
artificiale e tra l'altro ti esce
created
anche
with
se non è vero,
AI.
perché infatti adesso
And
abbiamo questo
even
problema
if
che è un
this is not
bug,
true, you can see
della
that
piattaforma,
they
abbiamo
show it.
usato
There's a
argomento,
bug in the
scusa,
platform.
questa foto non
And
è
I said,
intelligenza
Meta, I
artificiale,
said,
quindi
no,
loro
this
adesso
is
stanno
not
un po' in
AI,
difficoltà.
so they're now having
No,
some
in
trouble.
questo momento no, noi siamo,
Anyway,
noi per adesso
no,
noi
not for the time
cerchiamo di
being.
lavorare
So what we
su
do
da un
now
punto di vista
is
proprio
we
creativo dei
work
copy,
in terms
di
of
tutto quello
copies
che
and
è
creativity.
realizzato
So all what
dalle
we have
persone che
done
sono in quel momento in
by,
turno, molto nearline,
well,
cerchiamo
the
di avere sempre una
people
linea
in that
molto
shift.
veramente editoriale,
The line is
giornalistica,
very, how can I say,
Artistica pure, quindi.
editorial,
creativa,
artistic,
artistica, cerchiamo
very
di alleggerire
creative. I
molto il
mean, we try and,
linguaggio. Io
simplify
credo
the
che si
language.
noti chi
I
usa.
think
Quello
people
sicuramente, però,
notice.
Per adesso no.
But
sono
no,
d'accordo, però
for
per
the
esempio
time
nel
being,
mercato,
no
soprattutto
AI.
americano, eccetera,
I understand, but especially in the US
l'utilizzo di questi
market,
strumenti
the
crea poi
use
un
of these
vantaggio
tools
competitivo,
will
soprattutto
create
su
a
queste
competitive
piattaforme che stanno
advantage,
integrando queste
especially on
tecnologie
those
d'approccio.
platforms which
Tu
are
adesso hai
now
parlato prima
embedding
che
these new
ovviamente
technologies.
applicate un
You said that
SEO
you apply
anche
a sort of a
al
SEO
testo che
to the
inserite su
text
YouTube,
that
Sì.
you
e quindi
upload on
un SEO legato
YouTube,
a Google, che è
and
il motore
this
di
depends
ricerca.
on Google.
Poi
Google is
Carlo
the,
prima ha parlato di un
the
tool che
search
si chiama
engine.
Perplexity,
And the
che
Perplexity is the
sostanzialmente è
name
un
of
motore
that
di
tool.
ricerca con intelligenza
It's an
artificiale che non utilizza quel SEO.
AI-operated search
Quindi
engine,
io, per
not
esempio, che
using that
sono
kind of
quarantenne,
SEO.
comincio a utilizzare
I'm
questi
40.
strumenti
I'm
e mi rendo
starting
conto
to
che
use these
quando
tools
vado a fare una
now.
ricerca di un tuo
And
contenuto,
when
lì
I
sopra non
look
ci
for
sei.
your contents,
Quindi
you are not there. So
utilizzare uno strumento che mi permette
using
poi
a
di
tool
stare.
Tra l'altro
that
siamo
allows
sempre in
me,
tendenza,
No,
quindi
figurati.
But,
le video
I
news
mean,
le facciamo,
No,
però
we
sì,
do
sì,
the
questo sì,
video
però,
news, exactly,
guarda,
but
ti può dare una competitività, una competizione, una competitività
I
rispetto
think
ad
you
altri.
may,
Noi
increase
no, lo so, ho
competitiveness
capito
versus
quello che
many other
intendi.
competitors. Thank you so much.
Diciamo che è un
I
territorio
get
che
the
noi per
point.
adesso
Let's say
non
it's an
siamo, cioè a parte il
unexplored
tema delle
geography.
condivisioni,
I
gli
mean, of
share,
course, we
poter
keep talking
caricare
about
automaticamente
sharing
delle
and then
cose.
uploading things automatically.
Per adesso noi,
But
almeno io
for
stessa,
the
penso
time
che
being,
la
I mean, me
personalità,
myself, I
io
think that,
ho un team di persone che sono
personality
completamente
is
tutti diversi fra
fantastic. I mean,
loro,
I have a
ognuno ha delle
team of
skill
diverse people.
personali,
Everyone
chi
has
è più creativo
personal
sulle
skills.
immagini, chi è più bravo a
Some
realizzare il
people are
video, chi è più bravo
creative on
sul
the
copy,
images,
cioè
other on
ho
the
un ragazzo per
videos,
esempio
others
che
on
è proprio
copies.
il dio del
That,
copy, cioè neanche una macchina
there's a
potrebbe fare
person,
una
I
cosa
mean,
così.
the god
Quindi
of copy,
io credo
not
che la
even the machine can do
soggettività e
this.
la
Faccia
personalità
And I
la
think
differenza
that,
questo.
subjectivity
se no non
and
faremo le interazioni che
personality
facciamo e ad oggi
make
siamo
the
ancora
difference.
leader.
And
Quando non lo
we
saremo
are,
più,
we are
vi
leaders.
dirò da Dante,
Well, one day I will
mi
say
serve
we are no longer
l'intelligenza
leaders. Dante,
artificiale
I
perché qua non
need some
funziona più la
AI
Io
because
chiedo
something is
anche-
not working.
Dalla Rossella. Però
Or
per
maybe
adesso,
Rossella. For the time being, we
Per
are
adesso no.
AI
Facciamo,
free.
non so, se è l'ultima domanda e poi
Grazie
chiudiamo.
mille.
Very,
perché ci
very
stanno-
last question.
Prego.
No,
Okay, I
era-
think we're
mi
running a
dispiaceva che
little.
c'erano-
Okay, sorry.
Un'ultima domanda poi.
Okay, very last question, please.
Hello, sorry, my question will be in English. I'm
Yeah.
Lindsay Hughes from RT Software. I've come over from the UK. I didn't see any mention of X there. Is that not a social media platform? Elon Musk is saying that, they're going to be, the biggest and best place for branding of channels. And I just wonder what your thoughts were on X. Thank you.
X, okay, no. I know that in UK, X is very, very good platform. Actually, I work very well with my Sky Sports colleagues in UK, and they say it all the time, X is the best, X is the best. Not in Italy. In Italy, we don't have the biggest audience. We don't have the same numbers of UK. We have, I think that Meta, Instagram, actually, is more or less what X is in UK. X in Italy remain crucial for journalists, for press office, for news, obviously, but it's not the place for Gen Z, millennials, and it's not the place for, big numbers, not video views, not engagement, and actually is not the place for monetization, because all the brands and sponsors right now, I think they use more YouTube and Meta, but also TikTok, and there is no marketing on X in Italy. I know that X in Italy now, we have, I think, a new director manager in Italy. They are trying to push X a lot, but there is not the audience. But we are on X. We have 4 channels on X, and we cover with all the news. And we don't do automatically nothing. We are there like, okay, this is the link, this is the card, and actually also on X we don't use any. It's always the person and the social media manager that publish on X. But I know that in UK it's another audience totally, yes. But I like X. Really, for me it's very cool.
Grazie
Okay.
a tutti. Ci possiamo
Okay,
trasferire
then, thank
sopra.
you. Thank you so much. Please follow us upstairs.